As I mentioned, and as I had the sunglasses, I will put them on one more time for you. I was at the lunch today for the Sony Foundation where you buy these sunnies, raise a lot of money, but lots of other money. Met some wonderful people, and it's called the Wolf Award, and it is when Dennis Hanlon, the boss of Sony, who supports us, gets together and calls in all the people he knows. And a bloke who's been in the industry for as long as he has, he knows everyone. Everyone for the big end of town, all the stars, all the rest. And they come together, and today they raised $1.5 million to make sure that they can get these cancer centres happening all over the country, also making sure that they're able to buy units to keep people comfortable when they are having treatment all over the country. It's just a great idea. And I want to introduce you to a girl called Molly and another bloke, of course, called Stan Walker. Stan was on Australian Idol, but is well and truly one of the great stars of Sony. And Molly is a girl who has been going through stomach cancer. She's from Bundy in Queensland, and she has been a direct beneficiary of what the Sony Foundation has done. We had a chat at that lunch a bit earlier today. Enjoy. Molly, Stan, g'day.
Hi.
Thank you very much for joining us. Firstly and most importantly, congratulations on remission, darling.
Thank you so much.
It's such a good story.
Thank you.
Oh, all right. So let's talk a little bit about your battle, and then I want to talk about this great man in your life and the Sony Foundation as well.
Yes. So,
how old were you when you found out?
17. So April 4th this year, I found out I had just had a lymph node removed because it was a bit swollen, and then found out a week later that I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. So that was kind of a big shock because I'm in my gap year. I just graduated last year. So, and then from then I've just done chemo until now pretty much. So it's been a big battle.
The love, the support that you get, how important is that to you for the fight?
Oh, without it, you'd just be in the dark and so alone. So I've been so blessed to have the most amazing family and friends, and now the Sony Foundation. So it's just so amazing to get all this support and boost you up.
Now, let's make him blush a little. I don't know if we can see through that beautiful skin if he will blush, but let's try. What was it like to connect with Stan and for Stan to share his own story of a cancer battle?
Well, I remember watching Stan on Australian Idol way back. The little black box. No, well, Stan came and saw me in the hospital when I was in my second day of chemo in a row, and I was just knocked out pretty much, and he walked through the door. I was like, hi, trying to, but then I remember you saying a big inspirational thing about trying to lift yourself up with the people around you, and it gets better. Yeah. So yeah, it's been really nice having you there. Yeah. And
how important for you, Stan, is it to pay back as an artist, but also to connect with people like Molly, to take her through the journey?
I mean, I didn't expect to feel the way that I've felt just meeting other young people. I'm the type of person that goes through something and then I go through it and I never want to go back to it or just talk about it. It's not because it hurts, I just want to be done with it. Yeah. I'm all good.
You're a move-on guy.
Yeah, I just And then when I met Molly, I was trying not to cry. I was like, oh man, just because it was the first time that I seen actually, oh my gosh, I've been there. I know, and it can get really lonely. And our mothers are honest to God, they hold us up together. They are there 24/7. They can annoy us and they take it. We get grumpy at them, hey, go away. But really, and they just keep coming back and just serving us and loving us. And I think for me, just coming in, I just want to be an encouragement because I'm on the other end. And so anybody who's going through it or just coming out of it or just finding out about it, I want to just show, every situation is different, every cancer is different, but nonetheless, we kind of go through a similar journey. And, it's just been amazing to be able to meet people like Molly and other people through Sony Foundation. And, man, it's actually changed my life because I never thought that I would feel like I had.
Stan, tell me about what you've been able to do for the Sony Foundation, not just performing, but outreach. How do you help them?
Well, I've got a big mouth, and I'm good at forcing people to do stuff. I'm a good, bad influence. No, I know my position, I know my platform, and I know the kind of reach that I have and the power that I have. And because this is so close to me, when I first started, just after Idol, I watched my cousin die. We were 16-year-olds, and I've watched many people die, which is unfortunate. A lot of people in my family had cancer. But to watch my cousin, like we're kids, die like that, and in a hospice with old people, no colour, no light, no nothing. It was such a depressing feeling. Like I felt depressed for him. I was like, what? This is how you're going to go out? Like there's nothing? Like there's nothing here. Like he had all of us, which is, kept him warm. But like, man, it was just really sad. And so I was just quick to jump to it. When they asked me, you want to be a part of it? I was like, let's go. And so we started doing events like Wolf Award, going to, I actually did Wolf Award when I was on Idol. Wow. We were on Idol, so all of us top 10 came and did it, and then I did Wolf Award year after year, and now I'm back again. But doing all the events and just being an advocate and just to bring more eyes, more money. Like, I know they're going for 1.5, but why not 2?
That's it, man.
Like the more centres that we can get around the country, especially people who are isolated in communities. Like, how long is it drive
it's
to?
like 4.5, 5 hours to the hospital that I was at. So
And
very alone. I had no friends, just me and my mum.
And her mum has to take away that time, take off that time from work, and disconnected from your family members. The dad and like the siblings, and so if we can raise more money every year and keep going up, to put centres even in the small communities, it will change everything. I went to the Brisbane one, and honest to God, I was just like, I remember the feeling of I had an hour off my pick line. I only had 1 hour that I could leave my machine, man, and I was already getting the cloth and started showering myself, and I was like already ready, because as soon as they unhooked it, I got in the wheelchair and they pushed me down. I was like, take me outside now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So take me out. I want to hear the sounds. It's the sounds that actually like I don't even like going into hospitals.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, oh, here we are again.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Like I never had that anxiety feeling, and I'm walking in, I'm like, oh, like I don't want to go back to that. Like it's so like to be able to do what I get to do and use my gifts and my platform to bring more eyes, more shmoney.
Good man. What are these centres like?
Oh, I went through, my doctor snuck me into the Brisbane one a bit early, connected to my pole, and we went through, and it's amazing. There's like separate rooms with massive comfy couches and big TVs, and it would have been so nice to leave that like dull waiting room, and that's like where you get the most anxious. You just sit there and you think about you're either waiting for scan results, blood tests, what your next treatment is, or just so many things, and to be able to remove yourself from there and just feel like you're not the hospital anymore, I can't even describe what it would feel like.
Last question for you. When you've been made aware of how precious life is and how quickly it could maybe go away, what do you want to say to everyone who's watching at home tonight about how they should live the rest of their life?
I think you don't know what's around the corner, so grab onto every single opportunity that you have and just run with it, because you don't know when anything could be taken away from you. So just think right now all the good things you have in life, because tomorrow you might wake up and your whole world will be upside down. So.
Absolutely. Same for you?
Yeah, I think just live your most outrageous dreams, and don't let nobody tell you how you should, with who you should, and just live with no limits. Just be outrageous. Go for everything, and don't wait for permission. You give yourself permission to do anything and everything. Correct.
I love it, man. Explain the get-up. Earrings, necklace, what's the meanings?
So these are actual whalebone. We did not kill them. It's when they get beached and everything. And so these are whalebones. These are actually my partner's, my girlfriend's. She's going to actually see this. What the hell are you doing?
You stole her earrings.
And so, yeah, these are whalebones
now
from
I want to
New
know
Zealand.
who you stole that from.
No, well, this one's mine. This was gifted to me from one of our papas in the Cook Islands, in Rarotonga. And these are pig husks from the island of Achu. And he's had it for years. And he saw me and he goes, yep, this is supposed to be yours. He pulled it out. I was like, let's go.
Very cool.
So cool.
All right, well, Molly, anytime you want good jewellery, he'll steal it from his missus for you.
Some bones.
Yeah, come on.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having us.